All right, we're shooting 500 yards. I've adjusted this, or basically zeroed in this ACSS reticle for 2.5 inches high at 100, and I suspect that's going to put me on target here. So let's try this out. Okay. Take my rangefinder. Let's go figure out what I did. Actually, before I go down range to look, I'm going to take another 10 shots. This is with a different gun. The other one was the Ruger. No, the other one was the Palmetto with the SLX 1-10. This is the Ruger with the M8. Both of these are primary arms. So let's take 10 shots real quick. I am rushing this. I'll explain why in a little bit. Okay. All right, let's get down there and take a look. All right, I'm about halfway down the 500 yards that I was shooting. It's quite a walk. Part of the reason why I'm resetting this, basically I'm stopping the pause button because I don't want this thing to time out. So that's why at the halfway point, I just quickly unpaused it and now I'll repause it. Oh, while I'm walking, let me explain to you why I was rushing the shots. This is a property that in order for me to shoot 500 yards, I really have to back up, which I can do if I'm the only person on this property, okay? So at the 300 yards, I can see if anybody comes onto the property, but at the 500 yards, I can't see if people enter the property. Now, it's very unlikely that they would be able to sneak basically into my line of fire before I got a chance to finish off my my 10 rounds. But that's the reason why I was rushing it. You know, basically I took a quick peek, make sure nobody else was on the property. Then I moved to the 500-yard position where I had a clear line of sight. Took my my 10 shots really fast before anybody else has a chance to basically drive onto the property and then start walking around. So that's the reason why I was rushing the shots. And that's why this is basically combat accuracy we're going to be looking for. All right, so this is not like my best shooting. The second one, I know my hold was a little bit better on the second one. On the first one, I think I was a little, I was moving around a little bit more. Those were my first shots of the day. The other thing is that I was trying to hold just below the line of the paper because I was concerned that, hey, maybe I might shoot over the paper. On the second one, the second one I shot with the M8 Raptor, I just lined up my 500-yard line to the top of the paper. So if some of those shots go high, we'll know why. Let me pause you again. Okay, here it is, guys. We took 10 shots and 10 shots. The one on the left is the first one that we did. To my surprise, it's actually a tighter group. You can see the holes there. This is with the Palmetto 223 Wild, right? 500 yards. Hold on, I should mark this. Hold on, let me pause this and mark this. Okay, here you go. I marked it. This way, if I take a screenshot later on or something to refer back to, I know how many yards I was shooting. So this is 500 yards with the Palmetto 223 Wild, 18-inch barrel. All right. Both of these guns had 18-inch barrels. In fact, I wrote it on that one. Forgot to write it on this one. Make a note here, 18-inch barrel. Okay. So the total group here at 500 yards, this again is the Palmetto 223 Wild with the SLX 1-10 by 28, 18-inch barrel. My total group is 12 inches. Okay, it definitely not my best shooting. I know that I was, I was holding with the 500, kind of just like underneath right here. I wasn't level to the top over here. I wasn't level to the top. I was kind of holding right over here with the 500. I'm sorry, with the 500. No, this one actually has mil, so it was the 3 mil. So I was holding with the 3 mils. I was trying to hold it steady just underneath the top of this. All right, it's a good thing I did because I can see that this actually, I mean, it only dropped a little bit. There's only one that's above that actually landed on the line where I think I had my 3 mil mark. Most of them landed just underneath it, and again, that's with a 2.5, a plus 2.5 0. At 100 yards. Based on what I'm seeing here, I should probably just go to a plus 3-inch 0. Well, no, actually, I should leave it there. This way I can line up with the top of the paper. So that would practically, for shooting range testing, right, where you're trying to line up your mill with the top of the paper, because you're not going to see this bullseye. That actually makes sense to be shooting just underneath it. So with the, I'm going to leave it at 2.5. A 2.5 plus 2.5 at 100 yards. It gave me this 12-inch group. I know I was not shooting a really good group. Now this does have the 10 magnification. Over here on this one, interesting thing is I feel that I was holding better, because with this one I actually held right to the top of the paper. And I felt, I held right here. This one has the 500 yard mark, because this is the Raptor. Held right to the top of the paper. I felt like I was a lot more steady. And my group over here came in at 14 inches. Between the widest two marks, 14 inches. And there's no clusters. Like when I was shooting it the other day, I was seeing like clusters. There's nothing that's like clustered here, so everything's kind of evenly spread out. So that's with the Primary Arms M8 Raptor, 14-inch group, 500 yards. Now, what I'm thinking is this one over here has the 10x magnification. So I'm seeing, right, because I was shooting 550 yards earlier this week at a different location. I'm starting to consistently see a pattern where I'm shooting a little bit better with the Palmetto, which has the SLX 1-10 by 28, I think because of the 10 magnification. I think with the 10 magnification, I'm able to basically see, even though it's the other one is maybe a little bit more clear. I think that the greater magnification, I think, is helping me a little bit, because I'm starting to see a pattern where I'm shooting a little bit better with the 10 magnification versus the 8 magnification on this one. Now, both of these rifles have shot a half-inch group at 100 yards. Okay, so both of them have shot a half-inch group. So we're definitely working well beneath the capability of this rifle. You know, I at the other day at 550 yards, I believe my grouping was better at 550 yards than what I'm seeing today. But I think that I think I was in a more comfortable position because I was shooting off of a bench, whereas here I was prone. I had the back of the rifle bagged, but I was still in a relatively, you know, I think the biggest factor there is that I was rushed, because I was trying to rush the shots off and get them done as quickly as possible, you know, before somebody else came onto this property from a direction that I couldn't see, right? So these shots are a little bit more rushed. So this is what I would call more of a combat accuracy, you know, where you're shooting a little bit under stress, where you got to get those shots off. But the main thing I was testing today, right? The main thing, I zeroed in both of these rifles at 100 yards plus 2.5 inches. And at the 500 yard mark, I'm coming in just underneath my bullseye. Okay, this one over here again is just coming in just underneath my bullseye. And by the way, the ammunition that I'm using, I shouldn't mention that. Hold on, where is it? I actually brought the box out here with me. Where are you? Where did I put the box? It's 77 grain Federal. Oh, here it is in this pocket. No, that's not it. I dropped it somewhere along the way. I gotta go find it. I was walking. I think I don't see it on me. I must have dropped it. All right, so it was 77 grain Sierra Match Kings. The box says Federal on it, Federal Gold. I'll pause it on the way back, and I'll see if I find the box. I'll unpause it and I'll show it to you guys. So I'm using match grade ammunition to get these groups. Okay, so I'm back to, you know, like I was saying in the last video I did on this. For where I'm at in this part of Pennsylvania, where it tends to be a little bit more damp, I think that I'm consistently seeing here with two different rifles, plus 2.5 inches at 100 yards to get me to get me zeroed, to get me hitting around my target at 500 yards, which I think equates to a 50-yard zero, right? So this is plus 2.5 inches is close to like plus 3.5 inches. That's pretty much what I'd be getting if I had zeroed in at 50 yards. So pretty much the 50-yard zero seems what is going to make my bullet drop numbers work out on these two rifles, which are both 18-inch barrels, right? Let me pause the video for a second. Hey guys, I want to show you guys real quick the ammunition I was using. So Federal Premium 77 grain Gold Medal Sierra Match King. I haven't quite figured out what the relationship is between Sierra Match King, because I see it on a lot of different 77 grain ammunition. I don't know if that's the bullet itself that they sell to different companies, because I've seen lots of different companies that have like Sierra Match King on their on their box. But anyway, this is what I'm using now. This is different than what I was using on Monday at the different location, and pretty much they're impacting about the same. I tested it, where I saw yesterday. I tested it yesterday. I tested it on Monday. So this ammunition and the other one are impacting about the same. I haven't been able to find the other one. I got I think like 200 rounds of this. So this will, because obviously with this type of ammunition, I'm only doing distance shooting. If I wanted to see how good it was going to shoot, then I think I'll probably get a couple thousand rounds if I decide that this is the one I'm going to be working with. But that's the ammunition, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you guys are following me on all my channels, because they back each other up. I've got the original Safa channel, which goes back to 2006. I got Pocono Shooting. I've got Absolute Gun Rights. Okay, and then on the uncensored platforms, I got Huge Tube. I'm on Gunstreamer on both of those. I'm Pocono Tactical, and then on Odyssey, Pocono Tactical. On Rumble, I'm Pocono Guns. I'm BitChute, I'm Pocono Tactical. So make sure you guys are subscribed over there as well. I'll talk to you all soon.